Okay, morning. 4 a.m. D.I.Y. life. 4 a.m. Episode 8, Moral PNL. So if you're just tuning in and you haven't watched any of the previous videos, you kind of, it'll be like, what the heck's Moral PNL? And it'd be good to start over, but hey, it'll still apply. So Moral PNL, if you've never done a profit and loss statement, it's good to look that up because sometimes people, have never done it. You can do a P&L on yourself. So if you live by yourself or if you live with roommates, whatever, just kind of going back to the stage of maybe you're in your younger years, you would simply write down all of your income that you take in for a month and then all of your expenses. And at the end of that bottom line is your profit and loss. Well, this week's title of this episode is about a moral P&L. So I'll give an example. Like for myself, I don't really have weight loss this year as a goal. And the reason is that I've done this now over and over for several years, where sometimes, like last year, I had 120 days on a fast. So dropping down to, a weight even below a goal weight or kind of a fighting weight was possible. So when you get to that spot, it is a concern as you get older to make sure you don't have to fight that hard, that you keep your system, at a fully functioning deal. So for me right now, though, it's still, I'm doing a moral P&L because I know I'm a good 10 pounds overweight right now. And a lot of it is because I'm spending too much time writing. I'm spending a lot of time doing certain things in admin. And then additionally, we've had a long, long winter here in Southern California, a wet one as well. So there's been missed reps, missed days, and it has happened is there's weight involved, especially in a big frame like myself. So that is where I am morally saying, okay, my profit and loss at this point on this particular maintaining goal that I have over within my Rolodex of goals I'm in the red. And by in the red, it means there's a deficit to that goal. That deficit is 10 pounds. Or you can look at it the other way. It's fine. What really matters is that there's a need for me to start cutting in some of the things that are habits now. Sugar, of course, is one of them. And my wife and I really struggle with this particular issue. We love some treats sometimes. To treat yourself, we call it walking money. We need some walking money. And so, those things end up getting you habits, and of course, in cycles. So that's why this week in week 8, which is really a key strategic point. Last week we said just get a par because you're really, these 2 weeks are kind of like where you have failed in this resolution. In fact, you haven't even thought about it now, and that's typical. This is what happens. I'll always give the gym as an example because the gym is classic. By now we're at the end of February. Dude, it's like halfway. I laugh every time because it's so typical of what happens. By the end of March, it's like a quarter of the people that are in there from beginning. This is what always happens. Is it's so difficult to go from resolution, we're talking one, to a goal, to a summit, which we just call accomplished. And then to maintain it. You see, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about one. And how much the human body just wants to go back to the couch and forget about it. In a time and a season that we are in right now where it is so difficult to operate. I'm in Southern California, and I call it the 3X rule. 5 times as hard, 5 times as long, and 5 times as much. Get used to it because this is the new operating procedure. And it gets super frustrating. So this is where we have to take a moral P&L of what we're trying to do. And sometimes we may have wrote down things that are just not realistic. So let's go back to one. And that's what, last week's is just to get a par. You may have wrote down like 3 or 4 or 5, and now none of them are even, you're not even thinking about it. And so now we got to go back to the table and go, you know what? No. And I sometimes, I'll refer to it to other people is you just got to get nasty on yourself. I mean nasty. Like, this is boot camp military style, where you're looking outside yourself and you're getting mad. And that's okay. It really is. You get mad because you're like sick and tired of this extra weight. I'm giving it as an example. It could be lots of things. I'm sick and tired of losing money, or I'm sick and tired of that person. And so that's when work starts to happen. It's because this is the part where you don't realize how much is really against you. But now you can start making moves on there to where your hat gets turned on backwards. That's what I say is when you're going to get nasty, because it's not going to get you. And so that moral PNL right now is forcing you to stop and start writing this down again. The good, like how good you did this month, this week, and whatever it was. And then now the negatives, the expenses. And then to get back to that basic, get back to one. And let that now come back through to where this week, hey, you got 2, 3 good reps into that one RESO. That's building a par. That's building momentum and confidence. And then now it rides into the next week. On Sunday, when you're sleeping and it's the end of the week and now you're ready for your next week, trust me, when you wake up on Monday, you're excited again. You forgot all about the stage that you were in on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday of last week, where you didn't have any, or the previous week, where it was gone. That list couldn't even find it. I've been there. I really have. So that's the encouraging message this week. Hey, take a moral P&L of yourself. And then now, let's pick it up again. And that is life, man. I already shared this before. One of my favorite scriptures is, a righteous man falls 7 times. See? But he gets back up. See, it's not about falling. It's not about failing. Because you're going to fail. I fail all the time. But entrepreneurism, it's brutal. Absolutely brutal here in Southern California. But you get used to getting back up. You get used to getting knocked down. And then that other person or that other system or all the things that are against it, it doesn't matter. It's going to keep going. That machine keeps going. But you don't quit. See? You just keep going. And you get conditioned and you get better at how you're going to attack your day and all your other stuff. So I hope that encourages you. And then week 8, get back out there. Ryan here, DIY and 4D is the channel. DIY Life 4 a.m. Hope that encouraged you. Peace.